But we've actually added about 100 new subscribers in the last 24 hours. So I want to welcome them, welcome all of you back. One of the things that you'll see on this channel, while it's absolutely dedicated to real estate investing, specifically buy and hold real estate investing for the busy professionals, one of the things we do is we share kind of my review of the markets and what's going on, specifically around, where's the consumer's mindset, and where do I think the cost of capital is going. Something I've done every day for the better part of 15 years is kind of look at the market as I drink my coffee. And now what I'm doing is I'm sort of summarizing what I saw and sharing with you all. So first and foremost, just running down the list right off the bat, it looks like the Bay Area housing market is softening and probably softening pretty quickly. It's actually a 9-year low for purchases. And this is something that if you followed this channel, we've been calling for 3 to 6 months. We kind of just saw it coming because, again, we're looking every day. And really what it boils down to is the Bay Area is unaffordable. I almost call it unaffordable plus. Prices are significantly above where they were in '08, and they were unaffordable then. And then when you step back and ask why, it's because there was a flush of capital from all of these various unicorn and tech companies that was, in my opinion, artificially inflating owner-occupant purchases as people rushed out to not miss, which really creates a unhealthy environment and one that will likely lead to a reduction in prices, as I've been talking about for at least 6 months. I see 2020 being a negative for the Bay Area as far as prices. So that's the first thing. Again, tracking it. It's often the largest purchase people make. And good morning, Michael. Haven't talked to you in a while. I hope everything's going well. So that's where I stand first on the Bay Area. Next is we are continually seeing, still waiting for the crash. It just doesn't happen. Well, crashes happen slowly, Troy. It's only in hindsight that you can say, hey, look at 2010 wasn't that a great year. You just got to be patient. And then again, as we've talked about, it's not a crash this time. It won't be like '08, folks. It's not a balloon that's just going to explode. This one's going to be a slow leak. It's going to be very regionally oriented, in my opinion. And we'll talk about more of that in today's summary because I have some thoughts on that for the Midwest here in a moment. So again, back to the business investment, it continues to be weak. It's an early indicator. I think it was last week we talked about the world. In the U.S. now we have orders of capital goods unexpectedly dropping in August. Just another sign that businesses are losing faith in this 10 or 11-year bull run. So that's a, I don't know, a yellow flag, something to watch. But this next one is the cherry on top. U.S. consumer spending slows in August as incomes rise. So first off, that statement doesn't happen a lot in the U.S., right? We are a spend-first culture, but now we're seeing spending slowing and our incomes rising, which means it goes to either paying down debt or goes in savings, right? One of those two areas. But in an environment of slowing business spending, and you have the consumer at least seemingly sitting on their credit cards a little bit, this is what recessions. This is what causes recessions. Right, when the consumer gets nervous, and that's why we're always watching. That's why we're going to watch the Samsung $2,000 phone to see what it's like. The Apple's release. We're trying to see where the consumer's head at. And again, earlier in the week we talked about Nike crushing earnings, right? And they sell expensive tennis shoes. So, we just got to watch the consumer because they're the leading indicator here. Back to IPOs, kind of disappointing, right? We've talked a lot about WeWork. Who would have guessed we talked about them probably 7 or 8 times? Looks like Endeavor is a company that just pulled out of their IPO. They're supposed to go tomorrow. They were pricing below the range, less quantity, and with Peloton's 11% fall, Endeavor said, you know what? Maybe we'll do it some other time. This just goes back, and again, we've been talking about this for a month or 45 days. The unicorn stocks, the billion-dollar valuations that were very common the last 5 years, are not proving to be appetizing to the market. It's very dot-com like, and if you were around in investing, you know what I mean. Once people, when they have faith, right, anything with a dot-com, $100 share. But once they lose faith, once you are a money-spending business and like Uber and Lyft and all these WeWork that just continually lose billions of dollars, Investors lose faith, excuse me, and pull out. Then we have the UAW strike, which is going on a couple of weeks now. And as I talked about early, I thought the strikers had the upper hand in the first couple of days, and the longer it went on, GM would be stronger. We're kind of at that tipping point. But really, what it's boiling down to in my notes is there's a factory in Lordstown, Ohio. Used to have 3,000 auto workers cranking out Ford Fusions or something, and now it's down to 1,400, and that's a sticking point. The UAW, United Auto Workers Union, wants to keep that there and keep manufacturing cars and pull stuff back from Mexico. And GM's like, no, we're going to shut it down and build batteries. And really, what we're seeing here is we're seeing major production switch from gas to battery powered cars. And if I don't know if you know this, but battery powered cars have a lot less parts, a lot less complications, and a lot less need for UAW workers. So there is a huge fight going on now that could extend for a while because GM is clearly trying to transition itself from solely reliant on gas powered engines and the like, and that's going to have an impact on the employees. So this could go on a while. And more importantly, why did I bring this up based on earlier things? This is why out of state investing, somewhere you've never been, you don't know the culture, it's why it's so dangerous, specifically for California investors or anybody who's like, hey, it costs 500 grand to buy a house here, I'll buy over there for 50 grand or 80 grand or whatever. You're importing your thoughts on a market to a market you don't know, and as a video said yesterday, that could be arrogant and really crush you if you're not careful. So just realize you need to research markets. Go back and see what they did in 2000 during the recession. Go back and see what they did in '08 in the recession. And I think a lot of those areas are as good as they've ever been. And that's a dangerous time, if not very dangerous time to buy. So that's interesting. Again, I already hit on Peloton stock. Was down 11% yesterday. That was probably a big disappointment to them, I would imagine. On a I don't know, interesting note, Elon Musk is talking about Mars travel this weekend, so I am definitely going to try to find an article and read about that. It's just talk about a man who's focused on something, and come hell or high water, he's going to go there. To have those kind of big goals and go after them is quite good for him, right? Someday I'll have a big goal like that. And then the last thing is Ipsy. Looks like they're generating $500 million in revenue from a beauty subscription line. And the reason I brought this up is because they are giving credit to influencers. These folks like Kim Kardashian, like Beyonce, like all these other people that I don't really know. They are crediting influencers with what they call their glam bag. I'm guessing somebody stands up and says, "Hey, this is what I carry," and then other people buy it. So I just shared that because it's very interesting to see how marketing is changing and how influencers can really build a brand and all of that. So I just thought that was an interesting thing to see. I had no idea it was such big business. So at the end of the day, today the Bay Area housing market's going right how we called it on this channel. I see business investment still weak. Consumer spending is the one we really got to watch because August was rough. More tech stocks or IPOs not going. We got new IPOs falling below. We got UAW strikes. Elon Musk going to Mars. That's a positive. So that's what I got today. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, you can ask some questions, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.